The kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tells me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong. When it's just me and you alone, you're lonely, alone. Getting slowly, do you know me? Yeah, meditate. You can take me to a place where we can't be all alone. I let you hold me, do you know me?
Welcome to MsJoanieee Cut with me, your host, MsJoanieee, back with another video. Thank you all my new subscribers and thank you my day ones. I really appreciate y'all for giving me a chance and listening to my commentary. You are greatly appreciated. You know how we do over here, baby. We spectate. We do not participate in any drama of any kind unless we have to. Okay. Well, you know how we do. Let's get into it, baby. As you can see by my thumbnail in this title, child, we're talking about Priscilla today, child, because the lady is a lot. As you can see, it says Priscilla the Queen Maker blames Cassie for the abuse she endured by the hands of Diddy. It's giving that's what you get, because that's what I got from that live. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and discuss a few things and get into it. So I put myself through the torture, okay, to listen to this live, and it was not easy to get through the whole almost 2 hours. I didn't make it to the full 2 hours because after a while I had to check out because it was just a bunch of bull. Okay, let's start off with Priscilla starts her live off stating that women likes pain, that women are pain freaks. Okay, that's how she starts it off pretty much. She then goes to say that women are attracted to darkness and that we're lying to ourselves because what was it when R. Kelly was being protected and when people were caping? Who was it? The ones that was caping for P. Diddy and protecting R. Kelly? She goes to say the women. Now, as far as that, I won't completely disagree with that. Yes, there was an R. Kelly sector on YouTube, and there was a lot of women who was pretty much saying that, you know, R. Kelly was innocent, but there were men too. But for some reason, Priscilla just likes lately to be pointing out just the women as the problem, as though like men aren't the problem either. But I digress. Okay, now she do talk about men being the issue, but if you notice, as of lately, she's really been getting on women's asses. I'm just saying. So, child, the Queen Maker, I remember when she used to start off with like educating us, right? She used to start off with educating us about men and about the behaviors of men. But as of lately, I noticed she's chastising women constantly, and she's always on them. She's always pointing out what's wrong with women. So let's go ahead and shout out Big Glow. Priscilla was over there looking like Glorilla, child. Yeah, Glow. Let's shout out Miss Priscilla, since it's our fault about everything, because every time we wake up, it's a woman's problem why the universe is the way it is. Yeah, Glow. Okay. Couldn't forget about that. No baby's hears was baby hearing. Okay. Anyway, so she goes on to reiterate that women like evil, right? So she's saying that women like darkness, you know, they like the darkness and the evil. And by the way, she is getting this all from the book, The Art of Seduction. So throughout this live, she kept referencing the book, The Art of Seduction, right? So she's pretty much reading the book to her audience, and then she's paraphrasing what she is gathering from what the text is saying in the book. Child, anybody could do that. Anybody. She sounds real bitter lately, but I'll get into that later. So pretty much, you know, she says women don't take responsibility for our desires, thoughts, processes, and urges. We don't take any accountability, no responsibility. So this all leads up to Priscilla asking, how did Cassie end up with Diddy? Even after witnessing Kim being abused by Diddy, right? This was what her question was. And then I'm like, oh shit, she's about to start victim blaming, child. I can tell, because when she starts off a question like that and how she started off with women, because I wasn't sure where she was going, because she didn't first talk about Diddy. She started off with just women like pain and women like evil. And I'm like, what's happening here? What is going on? Okay. She continues to say, women have an attitude and a belief system. And I quote, she says, he might abuse you, but he's not going to do that to me. So she believes women have an attitude where, what you do to her, you ain't going to do to me. Correction. People do that, not just women. Most people believe what they see what another person go through won't happen to them. Case in point, I know a few male friends that have been in a relationship with women, have heard the stories of the women they were with, the horrible stories, the negative stories, and yet still got involved with them because they also had the mindset, if I just provide for her, give her the life that she wants, she needs, she will not treat me like that. And then he gets in a relationship and she dogs him out like she did the other men, all because he had that mentality, it won't happen to me. But yet Priscilla will have you believing by this book and by her that only women do this. Isn't she a woman? I'm not understanding. Excuse me. Isn't she a woman? Why is she left out? Why is it all of us and not her? I'm just curious. Okay, I'm just curious. So this is, I feel like she has a personal vendetta towards women right now. I really feel like right now Priscilla, especially due to her last relationship and how it came out to the media and came out to YouTube and all of us, she sounds like she has like a really deep vendetta for women, because if you watch her TikTok lives, which content creators are posting shorts or videos of some of her TikTok lives, she's constantly berating women. She's constantly blaming women, saying you can't do nothing for women. Women are a lost cause. It's our fault. We're stupid. We're dumb. I mean, you can find them. They up here. Okay, so Priscilla goes on to mention a post from Cola Booth, an alleged friend of Kim Porter's, because I feel like this is what majority of her live was based on, this post, by the things that she was saying, and I will read it to you. Okay, so she goes on herself to Cassie. She goes to mention that Cassie herself was being flaunted in Kim's face. Laughed at Diddy beating Kim, Booth claim was awful. I feel bad for Cassie getting beat up like that. But I still remember when Cassie was allowed herself to be used racially against Kim Porter, as Diddy humiliated, beat, and repeat Kim. I don't know, repeat Kim for years. They did a typo. Y'all have always hated me for talking real about these men, but they deserve it. What y'all saw in that video of Diddy beating Cassie was nothing. We'll never forget the time he tried to make Kim Porter lick Cassie's tampon, always using Kim's race to put her down. You guys don't know half of what women go through with famous and powerful men. Be they rappers, be they Bin Laden, be they actors. Y'all have no idea. And you always demonize the women. Always. Are you effing kidding me? He beat the out of Kim Porter. That was an alleged friend, Cola Booth, that had wrote this, I believe, on her Twitter about the abuse she had witnessed by the hands of Diddy to Kim Porter and Cassie. Okay, so Priscilla was using this article and that pretty much that tweet or message, that post, stating that Cassie saw Kim get treated like this, and she thought that it wasn't gonna ever be her, so this is the reason why she stuck around and got treated the way she did by Diddy. Again, this is given, this is what you get. Nana boo boo, this is what you get. That's the energy I'm getting from that live, and she's very problematic for that. Okay, she goes to say, because women care more about money, status, and materialism, and the desire of being around dangerous men. Not all women, but for some reason she swears it's all women. She says that Cassie didn't calculate the danger she was putting herself in. Right. So from my understanding, Cassie was 19 when she met Diddy. Right. I'm in my 30s and I'm way more aware and knowledgeable now than I was when I was 19. So it says Diddy met Cassie in 2005 when she was 19, 1 year before the singer's self-titled debut album released under Bad Boy Records. The rapper was in an on and off again relationship with Kim Porter at the time, whom he shared 4 kids prior to in her 2018 death. She was 19. Honey, when I was 19, I thought I knew the world. I thought I had the answers. And baby, when I could tell from where I'm at now in my late 30s to my 19 to my teens, I didn't know jack squat. I ain't know nothing. Okay. So Cassie had no idea. We're not raised to know the signs of a predator. We're not taught to what to look after. And yes, Priscilla goes on to say that she always say the women didn't teach. Where about the fathers? Most of these men have male friends and relatives, male relatives that they know are predators because they go out with them when these men are preying on these young girls and young women. And yet you didn't teach the women in your family the signs to look out for. It's just left on all the women. Yet this is coming from a woman. Okay, this is coming from a woman. And she's making it seem like a 19-year-old was very that capable of knowing the signs and what to look out for. Okay, so I would like to read a comment left under Priscilla's video, right? A content creator by Nita B watching. She had this comment on her wall. I follow her. Please feel free to check her out. She's been one of the content creators who's been taking screen recordings of Priscilla's TikToks. And that's a lot how of I'm knowing what she's saying over on TikTok, because I really don't be on TikTok like I used to. But this comment is from on her. You can see it when you go. It says, Priscilla, I love you, but you're wrong about Cassie. I'm an attorney who read Cassie's entire affidavit that was filed in Kings County. Yeah, Kings County. And it was very clearly stated that she did not want to date Diddy. She was forced into dating him because she was signed to his label. He constantly put her in uncomfortable positions, including setting her up for a fake promotional job to get an opportunity to be alone with her. That sounds familiar. He aped her and stalked her. This man pressured her into a relationship when she was still a teenager. Okay, she was 19. So I don't think she saw what happened to Kim and thought it would be different for her. She was in a legally binded contract and felt like she could not escape him because of the power dynamic. Cassie made it very clear that she did not want to be with Diddy. A predator. He is a predator. That is what predators do. They really do exist. Just like the boogeyman, Diddy is the boogeyman. If you want to see a real life demon walking this planet before your eyes, is Diddy. But yet, Priscilla, the queen maker, will have you believing that Cassie dark desires wanted this. Kim's dark desires wanted this. What the is she talking about? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so shout out to the content creator. Please make sure you go over there and check her out. Okay, so the Queen Maker Child continues to read from the book. Okay, the book of The Art of Seduction. And then she asks, why do you women repress your desires? Why is your repressed desires rooted in so much evil? What? I have a question, since she has all these questions. If women lust for evil, right, and they want to have these things happen to them because this is the reflection, this is what she said, then why such a large amount of women are divesting, right, doing the 4B movement, where women are now opting out of being single and not being with men and remaining single, right? Isn't that the main reason for this? Because women are tired of being mistreated. Okay, as you say, they're tired of dealing with evil. How come all this applies to us women and not her? Isn't she a woman herself? That's all I want to know. Because it's like, if women really wanted to have these disgusting, vile things done to them, why would we be divesting? Why would women be choosing to we've seen this growing up. We never knew what it was when we had the aunties, mama, cousins, females in our family who you never saw them date again. They just never got in another relationship. And that's just how they plan to live the rest of their life until they were no longer here. And now we're learning why. Right? I am not one of those gender wars, so please don't bring your gender war ass over here. If you are one of them men or women that like to go back and forth about men and women, this is not the channel. Let me just put that out there right now, please. I'm just saying, this has been going on for years, generation, decades. But yet, Priscilla will have you believe that we like to have our ass beat on, mistreated, because we don't think it can happen to us. It happened to her. It didn't happen to us. Some people do have that mentality. It's just not just women. Men do too. So Priscilla goes to state, what you choose is a reflection of what you are. She says, and I quote, what you choose is a reflection of what you are. And saying that what Cassie endured, what she endured that happened to her is because a reflection of who she was. So you really think that Cassie is evil, so that's why she was gravitated to evil, because that was her reflection. So women who gravitate towards you, Priscilla, what's their reflection? I'm just curious, because there's a lot we can say about your reflection, boo, but I digress. So next she goes to say that women, okay, are no victims. No, I quote, ain't no victims. You're responsible for what you desire and are. Okay, again, she said ain't. Honey, I had to retype that a couple times because it just wasn't coming out right. But she said ain't no victims. You are responsible for what you desire. Or are you not? Let me guess, it's Satan tempting you. This is all Priscilla quoting. You're a victim of the devil, huh? So there she go, patronizing women as she always do, and having us thinking, okay, we blame it on the devil. We blame it on evil. We have evil. We're our evil, right? This is what she goes to say. So every time this happens, we're blaming it on evil when it's really us who's reflecting the evil within us. That's why we're attracted to evil. Listen, if you confused, so was I. Yeah, Glow. I'm just saying. Unfortunately, she continues on saying to women, you're not the devil, huh? The snake was talking to you in a garden and you was asleep. You was in daze. So you don't know what happened, huh? This is her talking to women, pretty much saying, you know, the Garden of Eden, how we ate the apple and the snake convinced us. Again, we have to live in and day out with people accusing women to why the world is at a piece of shit. It's crazy. Okay. Excuse me. So she took one post. Okay. Of alleged friend of Kim Porter and blame women for why the bad things that happen to them is pretty much their fault. Priscilla continues to say that why are you so adamant to compete with other women for male attention? Okay, this is what she says. She continues saying that pretty much everything we do is for male attention. Every single thing. I cannot agree. Maybe at a young age, yes. But I really feel like Priscilla's main point was, why do women believe if men is dogging one woman out, he won't dog out her too? That's her main point. And how a woman will do anything to be with a man of such power in competition with another woman. If you listen to the live, that's her point. She goes to say, why do you feel special that he is mistreating another woman and you think he won't mistreat you? That is some people. Not all people think that way. For instance, if I hear a story about somebody beating the hell out of somebody in their past and it's from multiple sources, I'm not about to date that person. I don't give a no. I'm not going to even take a chance to find out for myself. Well, you could be missing out on a good person. Then I'll be missing out on a good person, because I'm a true believer. What's meant for you is meant for you. And can nobody take that away from you. Okay. So then she goes to say, well, why didn't Cassie leave when she saw that he was mistreating another woman? Priscilla continues to say, Diddy has been Diddying all along. Nothing is shocking about Diddy being Diddy. Nothing. People have been talking about how Diddy have been with men, and she goes on to say, Justin Bieber, alleged, right? Goes on to say, people have been talking about how Diddy have done men. So why would we be surprised, or why would a woman be surprised what he would do to a woman? Which she had made a point there. But again, Do you honestly think everybody was running up to Cassie saying, Cassie, you know he does these things? They were too terrified that she would run back and tell him, people are telling me this about you, and then they will suffer the consequence. The man was literally terrorizing people, and people was terrified of him because of it. Okay, it's one thing to hear a rumor, right? Us everyday normal people, we couldn't do shit about all the rumors we heard of Diddy all these years. We had no control over it, right? We just heard it were rumors, right? It took a victim of his to speak up for something that was being done, which is what Cassie did. Cassie finally decided, you know what, I'm going to finally speak up, and then follow other lawsuits to confirm her stories and other people who had similar experience, men and women. But yet she has this thing where she feels like, why didn't she leave? Like it was just easy for her up and go. This woman is incredibly ignorant and bitter, and it's not even funny. And I'm talking about Priscilla. So I want to read a few posts. And to answer her question on maybe why she didn't leave, I did some research, and I believe it's what is called battered woman syndrome, which is a psychological effect of living with an intimate partner violence. Walker says she knows that battered woman syndrome is not a mental illness, but the result of what happens when you live day in and day out with trauma. However, PTSD, which people with battered woman syndrome often have, is considered a mental illness. The physical, sexual, and psychological abuse happens in cycles, Walker says. The tension builds, then there's an outburst of violence, followed by the abuser apologizing and promising to do better. Then there's a cycle that starts all over again. Okay, so battered woman syndrome involves in control. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. I keep drinking water, but it's just not helping. But it involves control, in which the partner needs to know where she is at all times. Cassie did say that it was nowhere she could go that he did not know. Cuts her off from friends and family. We never ever heard about Cassie and any of her relatives being around throughout this time, and retains financial control so she doesn't have any money to leave. Remember, he had her thinking she was going to have this career, and then had her rely on him and his finance. Partners may not only threaten to ill the woman and their children, but also other relatives, their pets, if she leaves, and also sometimes threaten to ill himself, right? Post something else up, so I don't want to make this too long, but these are some of the signs of a domestic abuse between an intimate partner. Typically follows of a certain cycle, which is related to the battered woman syndrome. An abuser will win over a partner, often moving quickly into a relationship with tactics like love bombing, grand romantic gestures, and pressure for commitment early. Child, that sound like somebody. The abuser will emotionally and physically the abuser will be emotionally and physically abusive. This often starts with small, like a slap instead of a punch, or punching a wall next to their partner. It wasn't somebody hitting their steering wheel and slamming stuff down. I'm just saying. The abuser will feel guilty, swearing they'll never do it again, and be overly romantic to win their partner over. Didn't somebody send a text apologizing for their outbursts, and then once they call themselves breaking up with a person because the person got tired of their BS, they sent them a fruit bouquet? I'm just saying. There will be a temporary honeymoon period where the abuser is on their best behavior, luring their partner into thinking that they are safe and that things really will be different. Then she paid for like that $700 ticket out to LA because, child, don't get me started. I just wanted to read some of that. You can pause and read the rest. I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention, child. I'm just saying. That's called battered woman syndrome, which sounds like a lot what Cassie and a lot of other his victims have gone through. So she goes to say that women don't want to get their own bag, that they want to use their sexual energy to get a man's bag. Not all women, right? This wench really believes that women do everything for a man, which is not true. A lot of us do it for our family, but who got time to constantly have to keep telling people that? Okay. So Priscilla responded to a few posts under her video, and I wanted to just read a couple so you could just have an idea of like her response to other people's response to her, pretty much saying this is what Cassie gets, blaming Cassie. It was very victim blaming. So a Somebody dropped under her video and said Cassie didn't deserve what happened to her. No one does. Priscilla responds, whoever used the word deserve. If you play with fire, you will get burnt. It's just the law of natures. Y'all refuse to accept the nature of men and will still choose to play around with it. You will always get what you bargain for in life. Right? Then it's another comment. This is one of her supporters. And I wanted to put their name there so you can see the people who support her. It's all fun and games until you realize there's a link between your darkest desires and who you're attracted to. It's all fun and games until someone treats you like you've been treating others. Here's the thing, like they've been treating others. I ain't never had a dark desire in my life that I wanted to be beat on, kicked on, spit on, my body sold, put in uncomfortable predicaments, being told to have sexual encounters with strangers, get drugged up, get stalked. I have never had no deep, dark desires ever in my life. And I am being very honest that I will want that and that I deserve that because that's what I am. So I should get that from. What kind of madness is that? Here's one more. Now, this is long. I wasn't going to read all of this. You can pause it and read it for yourself or go over. But this is pretty much somebody saying, how young she was. I just wanted to point out a few things she said. She said, it always takes two to tango. Always. How did Diddy get Cassie underage? Most likely greedy parents and in particular greedy mother who will sell her daughters to the devil. Like men don't sell their children too, but okay. But you see how it's the mother's fault, right? Now, let's be honest. I don't understand why these adults let their young children go off with these grown ass celebrities, male celebrities. And then when they hear the stories, they're traumatized. That's very lack in parenting, but it's always the mother's fault. Like the father don't have a say in also letting her daughter know the signs of a predator. So at the very bottom, she says, I was 19 too. There was never a time in my life where I stayed in anything that I felt that was detrimental to me. No time. As everybody's supposed to think like her. This is the same person that constantly say men aren't ish, right? That women need to leave men alone. And that pretty much you're stupid and dumb if you deal with men. But yet this is the same woman who's still legally married to a man. I mean, maybe it's for the benefits, but I'm saying, no, you're still legally married to a man. You can't dislike men that much if you don't mind still being somewhat tied to a man. Y'all have to start watching a person's character and their actions and not their words, because a person could say anything clearly. Okay, so I would say this about Priscilla. Priscilla did open my eyes to the true nature of men, okay, and that I will give her credit for. Yes, men have shown us generation after generation of their true nature, and our grandparents and great grandparents are always telling the stories of having to pull their husbands out of a bar for drinking up the money, how she had to take an iron skillet to his head just for us to find out later on that he was maybe being violent and abusive towards her, and that's how she defended herself. How she had to pull him up out of other women's beds, and while there are kids in our families, our aunties and uncles themselves that might have a different daddy or something, or a different mama, it happens, right? Mostly it's always a different mama somewhere. We don't find out till later on. It's like a family secret. Okay. And this is generational. So yes, right? Women are still putting their lives in the hands of a man. And so that part, I kind of understood where she was coming from. But to sit here and just say, oh, well, because, she wanted this. She saw another woman go through it. She wanted this. And actually all women love pain and evil. What? But see, Priscilla is the type in some of these families where when a woman is abused or a woman in the family is abused by a man in the family or around the family, and they tell somebody, Priscilla is that someone who would say, well, what did you do to make him touch you that way? Okay. Or you must have enticed him and led him on. Okay. The whole, you should have known better. What's done on the inside of this house doesn't go outside of this house. Priscilla gives me that type of tease. She gives me that type of tease. Let me know in the comment section. Are y'all not getting that too? She is the type that if you go to her and said, this man touched me inappropriately, this person touched me inappropriately, she's the type, well, what did you do? Because I told you to stay away from them and you still was around them. So what did you do? She gives me that type of mammy tease. I'm just saying. Okay. This is a woman that, you know, who's pretty much just blaming women for why things is the way they are. This is the woman y'all chosen to follow. This is the woman that women chose to lead them. We wake up every morning and have to go on social media and be constantly reminded, women, it's specifically Black women, how much we're undesirable, how this is why men don't want us. This is why they choose other races over us. This is why you'll never amount to nothing. This is why he'll always cheat on you. This is why every time he gets big money, he leaves Black women behind. If you are constantly online watching that, you are doing damage to yourself. And now we have to deal with this from a woman who is supposed to be helping us and educating us on men and how to make better choices or to avoid the trauma. And all she's doing is bashing us, not even criticizing us. She's pretty much scolding us, wagging her finger at us and telling us, suffer. She said that in her live. Women will never learn. Suffer. Cassie got what she want. That's what you get for not listening. That's what she said. Women won't listen. This is what they get. So suffer. But y'all want to follow her. This is a woman that people choose to follow. And these are young women. Cassie was a very young woman when this happened. You know what I'm saying? She barely had life experience at the time. You know, and she goes to say, you know, oh, they think they're special. And it's very ignorant, it's very misleading, and it's very troublesome. Okay, there are some people who do have these mindsets that she speak of, right? But do you honestly truly think that these people wants to become a victim of abuse? But yet you let her tell it, yeah. So pretty much my conclusion of this whole thing, you know, Priscilla is truly a toxic person. She seemed to have a lot of built up resentment. There's something under her that is seething. Like if you watch her TikToks, especially after her situation where her ex happened, her lip would twitch when she wanted to say something and she had to hold back. And she was very angry. And if you notice, she went from educating us and pretty much bashing men into now she's attacking women, right? She thinks she's educating you. The thing is, she's doing psychologically abuse. She's pretty much saying, you're at fault, you're stupid, you're dumb, this is why this is happening to you. I keep telling you, but you won't listen. So now what I'm going to do, since y'all chose my ex's side, since y'all chose to believe her, and then some women in her own camp betrayed her, I'm pretty sure she feel betrayed because they were giving warnings of some of her behavior behind that paywall of that book club. Now she's just out to just tell women we ain't shit, we should suffer, and we get whatever we deserve because we got dark shit in us and we want the dark shit in the niggas, and because we want the, excuse my language, we want the dark shit in these men, that we deserve all the treatment we get. What kind of psycho babble shit is that? Lately, from what I've seen, pretty much Priscilla seems to be doing less educating about men, honey, and more complaining about women. That's all I'm getting is complaint. Be very careful who information you're taking in, because not all of it is coming from a good place. But if you stick it out to the end, I appreciate you. You are a real one. I thank everyone for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know below what you thought. Are you following this? Can you believe? Do you think she was blaming Cassie? Do you believe Cassie even deserved what she got, regardless if whether she saw another person go through this? Let me know below. I thank you so much for watching. You know how we do over here. I hope everyone have a blessed rest of their week, and smooches.
You